Hi guys, Lena here, all the way from Australia and Sunday morning. So I'm interstate. I've come up for a family reunion and memorial, so it'll be very mixed emotionally. But I thought I had a clever idea. I thought I'll stay in a backpackers round the corner, and I paid the price for that because all night there was doof doof music going on like 2 yards from my head, followed early morning by drunken Irish folk songs. And it was a bit disturbing because I realized I knew all the words. So I haven't had a lot of sleep. I'm just going to slug an espresso. Mm, yum. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to dive in here. Now, the muskrat, I love the way everyone's calling him Leon now because the Yeti did. So, Leon. And this mythical Department of Government Efficiency, it sounds like something out of an Orwell novel, and that's because it is. And I'm sure you've all heard, he only wants people with very high IQ, and they have to be hardworking, be prepared to work 80 hours a week and not be paid. The privilege, the privilege of slashing money from the public purse. It's just, you know, and people, especially obviously Republican voters, think these guys are good at business. They're not good at business. They're supercharged rip-off merchants who refuse to pay people. That's not good business. That's bastardry. You know, horrendous, horrendous. But the question I wanted to ask, conflict of interest if he's got a major government position and all these businesses. Where are the agencies? Where are the alphabet agencies? Have they surrendered already? Let's just have a quick look here at Leon and this new government department. So, you know, God knows what evil they'll get up to. Let's have a look here. If you're new to the channel, proudly not fair and balanced. Okay, so don't write to me going, oh, no, this is what you get. Having said that, often I get cards and regular viewers will know, and I'll go, ooh, hate that, because I do try and see what the cards actually say. But this Department of Government Efficiency, it just sends chills down the spine. Yep. And the challenge, well, it'll be very unpopular. Okay, so at the moment, it's still the time when he has influence here. So at this point, it's still early days. So it'll be interesting how two narcissists go in the same room. But for now, he's come up with this idea, right, to give himself a position. He would have chosen it, right? He's not going to wait around and, you know. So he's chosen it. This will impact a lot of people, and because their idea of saving money would be rolling back regulations, rolling back lunches in schools, rolling back healthcare for women, right? They won't, this is in the past position. Women won't be celebrating when this comes on board because he is a misogynist. It's going to cause conflict, I think, even within the party, because neither the Yeti nor the Muskrat are actually rusted on Republicans. They used to be more socially progressive and just went conservative to save tax. However, people are not going to be happy with this appointment. And he'll be called to some sort of assessment down the track. I think with this conflict card, I think this will play out. This is could play out over 5 weeks or 5 months sort of thing. And then a judgment. He might go himself. He might find he doesn't like sitting through all these meetings and so forth, and he can control the US and the world from his own poolside. He might even walk away from this. Interesting, but his power will remain undiminished for now. Now, these seemingly random, bizarre appointments. You've got the Fox guy. He's only a weekend Fox guy, right, in charge of the Defense Department. Then you've got Kristi Noem, the puppy killer, in charge of Homeland Security, and she's a tough cookie. And also they can put a woman in charge, and then if it doesn't work out, they can blame her. There's RFK Jr., of course, in charge of health, which is fully scary, seeing he openly admits a worm has eaten half his brain. So you would put him in charge of a hugely significant department, wouldn't you? Obvious choice. Can you believe it? So why is he doing these appointments? What is behind these crazy appointments? What's behind these crazy? And that's before we even get to Matt Gaetz. I'll do a little mini read on him in a minute, but what's Trump's agenda with these appointments? Let's have a look. His agenda. Oh. Well, Empress Russia, that would be why Tulsi Gabbard, allegedly, who has been known to uncritically repeat Russian talking points. She's come out on top. I think he's got this Queen of Cups energy. These are women who can keep the lid on the cup. They play with the big boys. But why is he doing it? For him, now this is usually the sword of truth, piercing the crown. And to a certain extent, it still is. He wants to stir discord and trouble. This is this card again of the Five of Wands. And flex his big muscles. My sword's the biggest. So I think what he's doing is essentially it's a loyalty test. Right? You will agree to anything I ask of you. That's the loyalty test. And it's just there as an experiment in loyalty. Ooh. Shouldn't be surprised. Why am I surprised? Can't be. Okay, now, here's the dilemma. Mike Johnson, the smiling assassin, he's one of those truly treacherous people. Why? Because he looks sort of normal. He doesn't look like a vicious, repressive, certifiable rat bag, as we would say in Australia. He looks sort of normal. He sounds almost normal. However, he is not. He is fully embedded in the worst of the Christo-fascist nonsense that is being unfurled. Okay. Now, he's backed Matt Gaetz, lovely guy, great guy, best person for the job, and he even had the integrity to stand down from Congress. No, he was 5 minutes ahead of the ethics report saying very unflattering things, right? So he escapes that. Now, a lot in the GOP, even MAGAs, aren't keen on Matt Gaetz, but will they fall into line? Will they fall into line? Will they fall into line? Sorry, there we go. Well, it's a work in progress. Here they are working towards their own subjugation, step by step. Right. It's so Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones. Stinky fish, this is the message. I give you the rotten fish and you swallow it with a smile on the dial. Right, that's what he wants. Some of them are pretending behind the scenes that they're not going to comply. This is a bridge too far. We can't have Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. There'd be some other right-wing Christo-fascist in the wings who'd be better. We're going to stand up. Well, no, they're not. And sailing through, you know, because they actually have the courage of a cockroach. They are so despicable. Talk about, party before country. Unbelievable. Little bit of good news in amongst it all is the Supreme Court has rejected Mark Meadows' offer, so he's not getting out of jail free. His case will go ahead with the Georgia trial. That's all very well, except will the Georgia trials go ahead? I know they're state-based. However, we are not in normal times, and we are witnessing democracy being dismantled in front of our very eyes. So, people have been asking about the New York sentencing coming up. It's been moved month after month after month. I think it's now the 26th or something. Will there be any joy? Will there be any justice in this sentencing? What's happening here? Well, let's have a look at the delayed sentencing. This is the Mashan case. Oh, a reversal, a very rare reversal. Okay, so it will go ahead in some form. This will be hugely emotional. This could be the tension leading into it or a reaction to what is actually said in the sentencing. I think Mashan is torn. On the one hand, he understands the severity of this and the ruthlessness of these people. He's had to put up with death threats, threats to his daughter, and so forth. Page of Pentacles, a message about money reversed. So this could be a fine that gets lessened, reverse, or a fine that's ditched in favor of something else. But with these cards, I'm not getting anything major. I would say more like a suspended sentence or something that's not going to impact very greatly. Now, what to do about all this? I am very happy on the one hand to see the resistance movement growing. And different people are calling for any form of resistance. And I think when you've been through the trauma you guys have all been through, and we in the rest of the world are going through as well in our own ways, it's really hard to keep paddling, and it's really important to not let that energy dissipate, to not become paralyzed by these disappointments. And the way to help yourself through that is to do some action. Right. It can be small, medium, big. It can be local. It can be global. It can be turning up somewhere, helping a group who will soon not have food banks or whatever. You can help on the ground, or you can be a keyboard warrior. But the energy of resistance is important. Now, we might also have a new home online in the form of Blue Sky. I only tuned in and heard about Blue Sky this week, but apparently it's a big thing and it's an alternative to X. So let's have a look. Blue Sky. Blue Sky. Blue Sky. Will it get enough momentum? Let's have a look, and then I'll pull some cards for you guys. High Priestess, Moon. Mysterious cards. Oh, God. Who owns Blue Sky? Okay, not the cards I was expecting, but this could work. Okay. Now, the High Priestess and the Moon card. Right. Both deeply mysterious cards. But she, the High Priestess, is quite happy to work in the shadows. I think we should all start doing some shadow work, don't you? The moon, similarly, what you see on the surface is not always clear at night, and it's not clear when you're under this massive stress and disappointment. Be aware of that, right? Take time to regroup and work out your way forward. But for Blue Sky, I think it's operating quite cleverly. As far as I'm aware, it's not sort of advertising even, it's just quietly behind the scenes making up ground. King of Wands, it will have some influence. The right will not like it because it will become, with this King of Wands, it will catch fire in a good way. They won't be impressed. And so they'll do their best. Right now, with this Eight of Cups, this is an important card in all sorts of ways too, because this is about being emotionally whole. All the cups are up, but deciding to walk away. I think it's people deciding to leave X. And obviously it's hard. I never used Twitter, so I didn't miss it. I never used X, so I don't have a dog in this show, right? But I hope that's what it is talking about. People will leave in significant numbers because the muskrat is giving people the heebie-jeebies. So let's look for you guys. So if you're looking, can you report to me in the comments, please, if you're using Blue Sky? What's different about it? What do you like about it? What do you wish it had? Give me some info on Blue Sky, please. Okay, let's have a look. Have a look at the resistance. Mary Trump did a recent video. She's obviously doing regular videos, but it was talking about this. Message for the resistance. Message for the resistance. That's weird. I just heard tariffs. I'll tell you what I think it means in a moment. Oh, weird. Resistance. Okay, this is for you. What do you need to know? Oh, yeah, look at this. Two big cards and a 10. Now, this is all the hope and inspiration that was brought to the table 250 odd years ago, representing the dream, right? Now, it wasn't always perfect by any definition. However, you guys need keep your eye on the stars. I heard tariffs. Here are the 10 of Pentacles. As the tariffs set in, if he goes ahead and does these tariff things, I just saw before I came on, the stock market is, because real business people, not the muskrat, not the yeti, real business people are quite disturbed by the poor caliber of placements in cabinet. They're just shocked. As the tariffs kick in, it's the death of the old way of doing things, of depending on the government to do the right thing. Many people who have been outside the mainstream, either for issues of race, ethnicity, culture, or identity, have not had a safe space under regular governments, let alone this. We have to come to grips with the fact that it's all ending. We have to engineer our own new day. Now, just coming back to this card, because ironically, the price of everything is going to go up with tariffs, I'd really encourage you all, and again, give me feedback, to start cooperatives. I know some of you already have cooperatives for buying groceries and fruit and vegetables and stuff. But I think the cooperative idea is the way to get around these price rises that are coming. It's an economy of scale. So if you can buy a box of veggies for $20, instead of paying what it would cost in a supermarket or somewhere, you know you can at least eat good food. And any way you can form collectives. It could be carpooling. It could be bulk pet food. Whatever is your buzz in your area, think about sharing it out, because that way you will save money and you meet with like-minded people, right? So this is really important in terms of the resistance. Okay, guys. So I'll see you soon. I've got to go now into the cleavage of the family. We'll see what happens. So guys, take care. Before we leave resistance, I just want to share a New Zealand story. Now, very quickly, the Indigenous people of Aotearoa, New Zealand, one of the few Indigenous groups to actually get a treaty. Of course, you will not be surprised to know the Maori version of the treaty was really different from the English version of the treaty. And now you've got a conservative government in New Zealand who's trying to wind back rights for Maori people. Now, in the 80s, which was part of the land rights movement in Australia and New Zealand, they often have what was called hikoi, and that's a walking protest. So people will gather in a town, thousands and thousands of people, and walk to the next town or city. And then it's a change of shifts. Some people will rest and go on. Others will pick up new people. They go to the next city. It's a rolling protest. So I'm saying bring on the hikoi. Hikoi. Go the hikoi. Ciao for now.